What do the four chambers of the Supreme Court of Justice do? If you have ever heard that the Supreme Court of Justice has magistrates, but you don't know their functions or what they do, we will explain it to you. First, we need to know that the highest court that applies laws in El Salvador is called the Supreme Court of Justice. If the Supreme Court of Justice were a building, its four main pillars will be Constitutional Chamber, Civil Chamber, Criminal Chamber, Administrative Contentious Chamber. Constitutional Chamber. It is composed of 5 magistrates and make decisions with 3 votes when it comes to protective orders and 4 votes when it comes to unconstitutional cases. Citizens can approach the chamber to request protection when they believe that government has disrespect rights such as health, security, or freedom of expression. This tribunal corrects errors in laws and decrees approved by the Legislative Assembly based on the Constitution. It also resolves conflicts between the legislative and executive branches over the approval of a law. Additionally, it is responsible for reviewing the situation of people who request freedom when they have been on justifiable arrest, known as habeas corpus. A recent example of the ruling issued by this chamber is the declaration of unconstitutionality of executive and legislative decrees to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. The Constitutional Chamber determined in 2020 that many decisions made during the quarantine were errors because they violate the Constitution. Criminal Chamber. It has 3 magistrates who specialize in laws that punish those who commit crimes. This tribunal reviews decisions from all the courts in the country. If a person is convicted of a crime, the case can be reviewed by a criminal court and then by the criminal chamber, which has the final say on appeals and can annul convictions. A recent example of ruling from this chamber is the resolution that cleared the intellectual authors of the massacre of the Jesuit priests from a criminal process. A court had agreed to prosecute them, but after a review, the criminal chamber ordered the case closed. Administrative Contentious Chamber. This chamber is composed of 4 magistrates. Administrative Contentious Chamber reviews the legality of acts by the public administration. Citizens can approach this chamber when they believe an institution has committed an arbitrary act in an administrative process. A recent example of this case is the ruling that declared illegal the layoff made by the government in June 2019 of 2 employees of the Sanctions Tribunal of the Consumer Protection Ombudsman. The chamber ordered that due to their dismissal and violation of the law, they be granted all salaries and benefits not received since their removal. Civil Chamber. It is composed of 3 magistrates who have the final say on family members' inheritance claims, cases on illicit enrichment. The Civil Chamber is responsible for confirming or annulling judgment from commercial, labor, and family courts. The Civil Chamber also grants permission for a judgment pronounced by a foreign court to be executed in the country. An example of what this chamber can do is the confirmation of the conviction for illicit enrichment of Elmer Charlix, former private secretary of ex-president Antonio Saca. In 2020, the chamber held an appeal hearing and, after reviewing Charlix's conviction, concluded that he must reimburse $15.7 million to the state. In July 2021, the 4 chambers will be renewed because 5 magistrates will finish their term, but the ruling party preemptively took over the entire Constitutional Chamber on May 1st. From now on, if a citizen is arbitrarily detained, if someone is fired or mistreated by the government, it will be a chamber controlled by the government that will resolve future demands.